Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 6:30 on WKYT This Morning, the search begins today for a new leader for the Fayette County school system.
A man charged in a deadly Eastern Kentucky home invasion back in May is out of jail this morning.
And new details about a fire that killed a Kentucky college student. Well, of those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens, it's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Hey, good morning to you and welcome in. Good to have you along here on Thursday. We're rolling toward the weekend, and it's going to be a cold one. We can catch a comet, but we can't control the weather, you know?
Wow, we must be on the same wavelength because I was going to mention that really cool comet.
Right. Bill Bryant and Rebecca Smith here with the latest news, and we'll have that for you in a moment. Well, let's check on that weather. You know, it is tough, right? Yeah. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, and the last time we were in the 30s for highs was back in March. It's incredible. You got to go back 8 months ago. And, yeah, we had that yesterday. We're going to have it again today. We're going to have it again tomorrow, and I just can keep going throughout the next 7 days. It's just going to be cold. Just get ready for it. Embrace it. It's going to happen, right? 30 degrees there in Danville, Lexington, Frankfort. Yeah, and even some snowflakes, maybe some snow flurries down south as we work our way throughout the next few hours. Live sky camera, there is your shot. And look, all day long, those clouds overhead that you saw on live sky camera, and like you saw yesterday, could give way to some flurries here and there. So don't be surprised if you see those falling out of the sky. 35, that's not even our coldest temperature for a high in our 7-day forecast. We may even see the 20s for highs. And I'll show you when you can expect that coming up.
All right, thank you. And here's the latest from WKYT.
As many of the kiddos are getting ready to head out the door this morning, leaders over at the Fayette County School Board are thinking about their future. And
they'll begin trying to figure out, you know, the kind of superintendent they want to hire, the kind of questions they need to be asked as they move forward in this. It's going to take some time, it looks like. Let's go out to WKYT's Mark Barber. He's live with information for parents about how that search is going to be moving forward. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Fayette County School Board members say the search to replace a superintendent of 3.5 years starts this afternoon. Board members tell us that they are meeting today to start looking at possible interim superintendents, and they will develop interview questions for those interim candidates. We're told those candidates could come from the Kentucky School Board Association, which has a list of retired superintendents who are willing to fill in until the new superintendent is hired. Superintendent Tom Shelton announced last week that he is stepping down to become the executive director of the Kentucky Association of School Superintendents. Dr. Shelton's resignation comes on the heels of a state audit that found weak policies, failed communications, and poor financial management in Fayette County public schools. Some board members say they are shocked the embattled superintendent is leaving because they thought he would stay through the end of his contract. Dr. Shelton's last stay here at Fayette County will be December 31st. Now we're told that they will start looking for a candidate to replace him when that meeting starts at 12 o'clock this afternoon. Live here in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you, Mark. A man indicted for murder in a deadly home invasion is now out of jail. We just spoke with officers at the Knox County Detention Center. They tell us that Patrick Baker has bonded out of their facility. Baker is one of 5 people indicted for the murder of Donald Mills at his home back in May. Police say Baker and Christopher Wagner showed up at the home pretending to be police officers. Mills was shot and killed during the robbery. Baker pleaded not guilty in the case.
A prosecutor says a Kentucky man charged with killing his family was involved in a murder-for-hire plot with one of the victims. Ryan Champion has been indicted in Trigg County on 1 count of murder and 3 counts of complicity to murder. Investigators allege that Champion hired Vito Reservato to kill his parents and his sister, and then he killed Reservato. After last month's quadruple murder, police say Champion tried to claim that he was a victim.
A man on Kentucky's death row will get a chance to argue that his murder sentence should be overturned. John Mills was convicted of the 1995 murder of a Knox County gospel singer, Arthur Phipps. Mills is appealing his death sentence because he says his lawyer did not do a good job. Last month, the Kentucky Supreme Court ruled that Mills would receive a new penalty phase for his case, but the victim's daughter says the death sentence fits the crime.
I think the death penalty is the best thing for this man. He has so much anger. I wouldn't want him out on the streets again, so I certainly hope he never gets out of prison.
Prosecutors say Mills' murder conviction will not be changed, and he could still end up with the death penalty, even with the new penalty phase. New this morning, a fire that killed a Kentucky college student has been ruled as to be an accident. Western Kentucky University sophomore Tyler English died on Halloween morning. His roommate was hurt when their off-campus house in downtown Bowling Green caught fire. Investigators now say the fire started in a trash can in the upstairs kitchen.
Our time is coming up on 6:36 on WKYT this morning. A Kentucky high school basketball team that was banned from playing will be allowed to take the court. The Kentucky High School Athletic Association voted to drop some of the sanctions against Cordia High School in Knott County. The team will now be allowed to play 15 games this season, but it is still banned from postseason play for the next 2 years. The KHSAA punished Cordia after learning that some of the players did not meet eligibility requirements. Well, police say the two men went through a lot of trouble to steal from a Kentucky outlet mall. Simpsonville police say the men stole $7,000 worth of shoes, electronics, and even some jackets from the outlet shops of the Bluegrass. Police say the men used a special duffel bag that somehow let them avoid store security systems. But employees caught on to the men and they were arrested. Well, it's been touted as one of the most successful rollouts in the country. Now Kentucky leaders are wanting to make signing up for Kentucky Connect, the local state insurance exchange, easier this year.
And what's easier than going to the mall to do that, right? Open enrollment in the federal health care exchange begins this weekend. Whitney Wetzel is live in Lexington, where starting today there will be a new way to access Connect.
Good morning, everyone. Well, Kentucky had a lot of success with this program last year. So this year, the state is opening a Connect store at Fayette Mall. It'll give people a chance to stop by and sign up for health coverage while they're doing some holiday shopping. Earlier this week, Governor Steve Beshear announced new ways for Kentuckians to check out the state's health care exchange. In addition to this new store opening where the old Avita store used to be, the state also announced a new mobile app, improvements to the website, and more representatives at call centers. Last year, more than 521,000 Kentuckians enrolled for insurance coverage through Connect. Many of those people did not have insurance before that. Governor Beshear will cut the ribbon at this afternoon's grand opening at 2:30. The open enrollment period for 2015 begins on Saturday and runs through February 15th. We have more information about enrollment on WKYT.com. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
All right, Whitney, thank you very much. Republicans and Democrats are picking their party leaders today for Congress, the one that convenes in January. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky is assured of becoming the next Senate Majority Leader, and Republican Congressman John Boehner from up the road in Cincinnati, Ohio, is on track for a third term as House Speaker.
Today, scientists at the European Space Agency hope to learn more from a probe they successfully landed on a comet. It's more than 300 million miles from Earth. The Philet probe had a rough landing yesterday morning after scientists say 2 landing systems failed. The 10-year mission is meant to reveal more about the makeup of comets.
Wow.
It's very cool stuff. Investigators are looking into the collapse of a World Trade Center scaffold that left 2 window washers dangling from the nation's tallest skyscraper. The scaffolding suddenly flipped yesterday at One World Trade Center. 2 workers were trapped and dangled 68 stories above the streets of Manhattan for 2 hours. Firefighters used diamond cutters to saw through a double-layered window to pull them to safety.
Well, all right, so we catch comets and then have trouble washing windows, but
Yeah.
a little perspective for you there. Our time this morning is 6:39 on WKYT. Today, the commander of the 101st Airborne Division will address the unit's deployment to Africa, where soldiers are helping build care centers and train healthcare workers in an area stricken with Ebola. Roughly 700 soldiers from the military post on the Kentucky-Tennessee state line were sent to West Africa last month. Families of some soldiers have expressed concerns about the deployment and how the soldiers will be handled before returning to the post. Well, the TV ads usually feature glamorous supermodels and stars, but this month, L'Oreal Paris is going to showcase a Kentucky native who is a double amputee. Stephanie Decker, who was raised in Frankfurt, lost her legs nearly 2 years ago while protecting her children during a tornado outbreak in Indiana. Decker and 9 other finalists for L'Oreal's Women of Worth competition are going to be competing there. If she gets enough votes, the cosmetic company will give $25,000 to Decker's charity. And you can vote for Decker online. We have a link as to how to do that at WKYT.com.
In a multi-million-dollar deal, Churchill Downs says it will buy an online game producer. They plan to buy Big Fish in an $885 million deal. Both companies have agreed to the deal, which is pending regulatory approval. Representatives for Churchill Downs say they expect the deal to close by the end of the year. The CEO says it will give his company new products, customers, and growth opportunities.
They did not have the handle at the Churchill Downs fall meet that they anticipated, so the racetracks are all looking for sort of alternatives these days as well.
Gaming thing seems to be big these days. If you're looking for a deal on a place to live, a new report says you don't need to look too far.
That's right. Kiplinger names Lexington as one of the top 10 affordable big cities in the U.S. The report looked at the cost of living for every American city with a population of at least 250,000 people. Lexington ranked 7th on the list with a cost of living more than 10% below the U.S. average. Louisville also made the top 10. So there you go. Affordable place to be.
That sounds good to me. Let's check to see how traffic is moving this morning.
Let's go out to Officer Don and check on live drive traffic at 641. Don, good morning.
Good morning. More paving work and milling work throughout the day, so watch yourself there on Southland Drive. They'll be working down to one lane at times. We're seeing that all over town as we try to make some improvements. Right now we're okay on the Circle, and we just checked inbound Harrodsburg Road. Getting a slight delay coming up now on the crossover. Let's get a look outside and we'll show you what's happening as you head out the door. Live look at Nicholasville and Pasadena where it's still pretty quiet there. Same deal on Tates Creek Road. Coming up on the Circle, the slow traffic's in that left turn lane to get you onto the Circle. Waze map, no wrecks popping up. Live drivers reporting it's a smooth ride in Leestown Road, Georgetown, and North Broadway. Now back to you.
All right, Don, thank you. And right around 30 degrees in a lot of our viewing area this morning, so it is a cold one. Keep that in mind. And as we go into the weekend and next week, more of that. And more news is coming up on WKYT on your Thursday.
A man wanting to break up with his girlfriend sends her a literal message.
And we're looking outside, 30 degrees in Lexington. The farther you go toward the north and the northwest, well, the colder it gets. The problem with that is we're getting winds out of the northwest, and that's just going to funnel in and just kind of usher in those colder temperatures. We'll see teens overnight next couple of mornings, and it's still cold for the weekend for that big system, and I'll explain that coming up in just a few minutes.